Hello there, Alexis here. It's Saturday, and I just got back from a long walk slash bike ride here in Berlin. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about how I've been feeling actually, because I've been waking up very sort of frustrated in the last 2 days and very exhausted, mentally, emotionally exhausted, and I couldn't really put my finger on it, but if anything, um, I could at least tell that it's something is off. Like I've been feeling off, and there have been some sad news in the media. Anthony Bourdain and also Kate Spade, both very prolific and amazing creative people, committed suicide, and obviously this isn't very fun. And I'm only now a few days into it, realizing that, for example, Anthony Bourdain actually really that really touched me and made me feel really sad. And yeah, so it also sort of hits home quite immensely. I've been struggling with depression for the last probably 18 years, on and off. I've gone to therapy. I've been at risk a few times about 10 years ago, and so I've gone to therapy over the last year, which was actually a really important and good step. And alongside with it, I think as a responsible adult, it's important to sort of know when things aren't so good, and when you gotta maybe work a little bit or do something in order for, in this case, this depression not to overwhelm, because it's risk. It's actually it's a very dangerous, I would say, maybe not disease, but almost like a demon that you just didn't choose to have. On a good note, and this is something that I just did, and I feel pretty good about it, is the danger with depression. I think first and foremost is that it's all happening in my mind, right? It's all just here, and it's all between my temples, behind my eyes, and it's all these thoughts that are spiraling, and it's dangerous and I think we're becoming more aware as a society. But I've been experimenting a lot with different techniques and different strategies that I developed together with my therapist and also by myself. And one of them is actually using my whiteboard, and it's one of the reasons I actually bought it a few years back, is to always have a place where I can put thoughts that are on my mind. So I want to show you something, and this is just something that I did quickly, but I felt like it was necessary. I did a sort of what I would call a download or a snapshot of all the things that were sort of on my mind right now, and I'm going to show you this here. This graphic, or this whiteboard that I just did. I started out in the middle with just trying to express how I was feeling. So I've noticed that anger is actually an emotion that is related to depression. So today I've felt very angry and upset, right? So I felt like I wanted to show that, like this sort of this tension, and then I just basically started with what's bothering me, what's triggering me, what's pushing my buttons. And this is not necessarily mind map. This is what I would say, like just a very lateral thinking, feeling sort of map, where I would maybe over here put stuff that triggers me at home, that I don't feel a lot of privacy and there's a lot of noise. And I would just leave that there and maybe go down here and say, oh yeah, and I've been having, significant allergies for last month. I'm like feeling, basically having a flu for a month. Then there's heat, stuff like the heat or the people around me that I don't really enjoy, or I have, some issue with, or that are totally just triggering my buttons. Uncertainty, I think, is a huge one for me. That means, work, money, the news, the craziness of the news. What does that mean for the future? Uh, Family, obviously, is a big one, and there it's more, it's less a they're triggering me, although parents obviously can push your buttons. But my mom passed away in February, so I'm still working through that, and that's clearly not a happy place. And then I created a whole bubble about just how I feel. Like, what is this feeling really? I feel exhausted. I feel frustrated. I feel lonely, and that makes me annoyed. And there was a whole thing. Yeah, there's my body image, the clothes I wear, how I look, my weight, whatever. Like all these. I just took out 10 minutes just to put all the things that came to my mind and put them out there, and then start to connect them, to make sense and sort of start manipulating them. So that was the first thing, and I think it was really helpful. And I'm a big fan of sort of putting feelings and these things out, and that's why I think the whiteboard really was great. And then, um, as a planner, I guess I wrote down a bunch of solutions or strategies that I know have worked for me in the past, and I didn't want to go overboard with this, because sometimes it's just the most important thing is this piece here, actually. Just to say, this is all bothering me, or this is frustrating me, and this is how I feel. And just I would say the most important thing is that I got that out there, and that I'm okay with that, and that I acknowledge that. And then the solutions, yes, it's important. I think it's good to have that, but I didn't feel like this was the most important part, or this is nothing new. I know how I can mitigate my depression, the strategies that I can take. Anyways, and I'm not going to go into those too much. What I wanna sort of conclude with is just basically sharing, A, how I feel, and B, what I'm doing in order to acknowledge and be able to work with this type of not feeling great, maybe feeling frustrated, maybe feeling depressed. And yeah, I hope this. I mean, I'm not sure how interesting this is, but I think we're all in this together. And if you're having a bad day, and if you're not clear, if you're angry like I am, or just frustrated, or you just don't know what's going on, I urge you to just try this out. Give it a 10-minute, get a piece of paper or a whiteboard, and just map out what's going on. Yeah, I wish I had happier news or were more upbeat, but sometimes you just feel the way you feel, and that's okay. So embrace that, and thanks for watching, and I hope to talk to you soon. All right, bye bye.